Right now, a wonderful evening chorus has just broken out. Those are bullfrogs by the far shoreline, and those are male bullfrogs. They've just claimed their territories. They're calling for females. Now, each male grabs a bit of the beaver pond for itself, and it holds that territory against other males. In fact, donnybrooks break out fairly commonly amongst rival males. The females lie around and listen. When they finally hear a male that kind of turns them on a bit, they swim in for a closer view. So right now out there, a whole bunch of males are holding their territories, calling for females, doing all the work while the females are lying in wait. When you're in a canoe, you can often get so close to animals. Do I dare try to catch it? Sure, why not? Oops, missed. He's in my canoe. I can't believe this. Oh dear, oh dear. Didn't like my paddling, I guess. What a fantastic spot. I'm at a beaver pond. I see the lodge down by the shoreline. I'm standing on the dam, but the beavers haven't quite come out yet. But there's plenty of sign of other animals. On this dam, I see tracks of raccoon, of deer, and paw prints of the beaver itself. Today on Wild by Nature, we are going to meet a lively baritone, some high-rise tenants, and we'll also meet the animal that really does give a damn. Join me, Michael Runtz, as we explore the amazing world of beaver ponds. Wasn't that fantastic? There's nothing more enjoyable than going to a beaver pond in the evening and sitting here quietly waiting for the beavers to come out. This pond that supports the beavers and a whole array of other animals is here for one reason only, and that's because the beavers have built a dam right here. Now from this side, the dam doesn't look too spectacular, but from the other side, it's an amazing structure. Come on over here and have a look at this. Isn't this spectacular? And to think that beavers built all this. At one time, a small stream flowed through here. Beavers came along, created a dam of sticks and mud, and made that pond back here. Those dead trees are where a forest once stood. Amazing. Now, beavers have been known as a master architect of nature, yet they don't always put their dams in the best locations. This one here is pretty good. It was at a natural narrows where major rocks form boundaries at each end of it. But often dams are placed in larger rivers or spots where they wash out with spring flooding. So they're not really perfect architects by that sense. Regardless though, beavers' dams are pretty amazing structures. They start off by placing very sharply pointed sticks that they've chewed off. They dry them into the mud, and from the upstream side of the flow, they add material like mud, more sticks, and rocks sometimes. Over the period of a few years, a major dam can result. Now, beavers maintain that dam, but it's not through intelligence. They don't wander around trying to find leaks. They actually listen. When they hear the sound of rushing water, that triggers their behavior to add material to the dam. So it's not pure intelligence, but largely instinct. But regardless, over the years, a very large dam like this can result, creating quite an impressive pond behind. But why build a pond? Well, beavers need a lot of water. not only for summer use, they feed in the safety of the pond, they'll cut trees on shore and drag them down and feed on the bark, or they'll feed on water plants growing in the pond. But most importantly, beavers need that water for winter survival. Beavers don't hibernate, they're active year-round. In the winter, they leave the safety of their lodge or their house, swim under the water, get food they've stored during the fall, return to the lodge to feed on it. If the pond is too shallow, that water will freeze to the very bottom and beavers can't survive. So they must have water deep enough where it will not freeze to the bottom in winter. Now just back in here is the beaver's home or lodge. Let's wander back there and have a look at that amazing structure. Now when I said wander over to that beaver lodge, in beaver pond language that means canoe. Unless your lodge is on the shoreline, which some are, you've got to paddle out to see the lodge up close. So this one here is out in the water, so we're going to go out in a canoe and have a look at it. Oh, what a beautiful evening. It's always so incredibly peaceful. And out here too, you can escape most of the biting insects that want to keep you company on the shoreline. I'll be quite honest, this is one of my favorite activities, getting in a canoe and paddling through a beaver pond. Just glide through the dead trees. Now here's a good close view of that lodge, isn't it? Right now there's probably beaver still inside. The lodge has a big chamber with 2 levels to it. The upper level is higher and drier, often has shredded bark for a lining to it. Beavers use that for sleeping. There's a lower level near the entrance holes that go under the water into the lodge. And often there's at least 2 entrances, one for regular use and one for emergencies perhaps. But anyways, right now there's probably beavers inside there. They make that lodge, by the way, by piling up mud and sticks and then hauling it out. So as they build it, it's not built as just like a tent-like structure. It's built from the inside out eventually. Anyways, those beavers are inside there. Let's leave them there and head back to shore. Perhaps they'll start coming out soon as the sun's getting lower. There's a beaver right here, swimming. Look at this, look at this. Wasn't that fantastic? That tail slap does 2 things. It communicates to other family members there's danger in the pond, and it might also serve to startle the predator or the intruder like ourselves, as it certainly did me. But wasn't that fantastic? Along this old logging road, a beaver dam was started just last fall. So this pond is really quite a recent pond, and in fact the trees are only just dying this year. But these dead trees will provide incredible feeding opportunities for a variety of insects, and they in turn will be food for a variety of birds. So these trees are not really lost trees, they're just being transformed to a new kind of habitat that really is a very important part of any beaver pond. Right after this break, we'll meet some of the other animals that call this beaver pond home. Beaver ponds are superb spots for a large number of aquatic plants to grow. And these plants include the beautiful water lilies, both the white and the yellow water lily, smaller plants like water shield, and all these are food for a large variety of animals, many small. The leaves of these plants all have patterns chewed in by the larvae of flies and beetles. All those water plants in the pond created by the dam are providing food for large animals too. That moose is coming down, that young bull is coming down right now to get several types of water plants from the pond. It's looking for water shield and perhaps also water lilies. Those plants are very high in sodium, a mineral that moose lack all winter long in their diet. Their natural source is right here in these beaver ponds. Without beaver ponds, undoubtedly we'd have pure moose through northern Canada. Around any beaver pond, there's always a lot of life by the edges. When you walk along, you'll see little things like damselflies skirting out, frogs, great variety of things. So it's always worthwhile to don a pair of rubber boots and wade very slowly and quietly along the edge. A snake, a snake. I got it, I got it, I got it. Beautiful little ribbon snake. Look at this, look at this. Beautiful. They commonly hunt down by the edge of beaver ponds on the grassy edges where they find little frogs and other prey. Now they look a little bit like a garter snake, another snake you'll find down in spots like this. But ribbon snakes are much slimmer. They're very cleanly marked with stripes, which are a little bit different in pattern than the garter snake. But also, what I find useful is the cheek color. On ribbon snakes, the cheek is pure white. On garter snakes, quite yellow. Well, let's let this beautiful little snake go. Let's put that right here. Good looking spot. Look at those stripes, beautiful. Lots of frogs in front of me. We know my luck with frogs, so let's just dip around the water a little bit, see if we can find near the bottom. Okay, let's see what we got. There is a lot of stuff in here, whoa, including a very lively tadpole. Now this tadpole has got a tail still, but the legs now are forming. The front one's just coming out. That's probably a green frog. Oh, hang on, look at this. It appears to be a rolled leaf and nothing more than a rolled leaf, but it's actually a little insect called a caddisfly. The adult is a moth-like creature that flies around. The larvae, though, is aquatic. And caddisflies are pretty neat little animals because they stay hidden in the bottom of the pond, not in the mud though, but in a little casing they make themselves. Now some species use little bits of sticks and coat their body with those. This one rolls over a leaf. But there we are, look at that, a living leaf. Oh, we got a really big back swimmer. These are really neat. Now this insect is one of the fiercest predators in the pond. It's called a back swimmer because it swims upside down on its back. What we're seeing here right now, the white, is actually his back, which is face down when he swims. The bottom side is black. Now, by swimming upside down, the black side is seen from animals above the water as blending in with the bottom. Animals down below see this white backside, which of course is upside down, and that blends in with the white sky above, a back swimmer. Now, what else do we have? Oh, we got a lovely leech in here. There are a number of these leeches in the pond out here, some attached to frogs, some to turtles, some to other animals, including ourselves. Many are quite beautiful though. One of the very common pond inhabitants, a leech or bloodsucker. Now, this is a baby dragonfly. Now, dragonflies, when they live inside the water as a nymph, as we have right here, breathe through gills, which are inside the body toward the back end, internal gills. And just like the adult dragonflies, the young ones are predators, feeding on small animals in the water. Diving beetle here. These carry their own scuba tank when they go down in the water. Lively little fellow, isn't he? Now let these pond inhabitants return to their natural habitat. There we go. As you can see, there's a lot of life in these waters. There's also a lot of life above the water as well. After the break, we'll meet some of these high-rise tenants behind me. This pond's been here for a while. All these trees around have been dead for quite a long time. Now, when the trees first die, they provide really important food for a lot of insects. There's a lot of beetles that feed on the bark of trees and on the wood of trees. These in turn are important food for a variety of woodpeckers, which make holes in the tree. And these provide nesting sites for a great variety of other birds and also some mammals. Besides that, the dead trees are very important platforms for larger birds as well. Now right behind me is a great tree full of holes. Let's just stop by for a second and see who's home. Now when you're doing this, don't whack the tree so hard that it falls over. Just give it a little scrape first. Oops, look at that, look at that. Did you see that? A gray-crested flycatcher, a gray-crested flycatcher. Fantastic, fantastic. It's always really important, once you find out who's home, as we did here, you leave the nest alone. So we'll back out of here as fast as possible and let the bird get back to its nest. But what a treat, a gray-crested flycatcher. The only flycatcher we have that uses woodpecker holes for nest sites. Now we'll leave it alone and let's see if it goes back in there again. Well, here it comes, here it comes. There it is. Hey, beautiful. Beautiful. I just saw a northern flicker fly into a nesting hole on a tree on the far side of the pond. It went right inside the hole, so it must have either young or eggs inside there. But that bird, the flicker, which created that hole, also made most of the holes all through this beaver pond. And those nest holes, the old ones not being used by the woodpecker, are now being used by tree swallows and that flycatcher we saw earlier. So the flicker that hopefully will reappear for us has made homes here not only for itself, but inadvertently for other animals as well. I suppose you might say the woodpecker made this habitat a rather holy place in his efforts. Oh, did you see that? That was fantastic. Isn't that a fantastic view? You can see the 4 young on the nest, and one of the parents has just returned bringing some food to them. Now, if you watch carefully, just before feeding, the parent will put this beak in the air and cough up whatever it's carrying. Maybe it's carrying a frog or a fish in this crop. And there it goes, and there it's doing it, it's doing it. Now watch. Okay, it's putting the beak down to the young. And what a squabble. That's amazing. They're all fighting for access to the food. Beautiful, beautiful. What a sight. What a sight. And there it goes. She's flying off the nest now. Or he, whatever the case may be, off to get some more food for them. Oh, what a tremendous view. This is fantastic. Just fantastic. All through this pond, you'll see a number of great blue heron nests. This is called a heronry. This site's been used for many years by the herons. Some nests are really large. Those are the oldest nests, used year after year. This whole pond here and all the dead trees are due to beaver activity. A whole variety of animals depend upon those dead trees for their survival. And those dead trees are there because beavers came in here and created a pond. So this entire little system here of dead trees and nesting herons owes its existence to the beavers. Now this pond is gone, but it's not a lost pond. That dam's been broken either by people or perhaps by inactivity of beavers. If beavers leave the area, abandon the pond, the dam breaks down eventually. But for whatever reason the pond has gone dry, it's not a lost habitat, it's merely a changed habitat. Through time, this mud will support a great array of sun-loving plants, grasses and plants like that, creating a meadow. Animals like jumping mice, birds like savanna sparrows will live here, and deer will come down to feed upon the grasses. A whole new set of animals will come down to exploit the open meadow. It's only been a few years since this dam broke and the pond that was here went dry. But in that short period of time, a lush meadow of sedge and grass has formed. Just incredible. Right over here is the old beaver lodge. One time full of beavers, now vacant and waiting for new occupants. But it's amazing how quickly a pond transforms from a thriving community of aquatic animals and plants to a beautiful sedge meadow. And through time, this will change too into more of a shrubby area and finally a forest. Rain or shine, beaver ponds are on Oasis of Life. Thanks for coming along on our journey to this incredible habitat. Join me next time for another adventure where everything we meet is wild by nature.